Mayor Bob Filner, the City Council, and the Board of the City of San Diego's Tourism Marketing District ended a heated dispute that we've been covering here at Sandiego6 over the promotions agency funding. This all happening Thursday. It was breaking news. Pretty big deal.
It was. The City Council voted unanimously to accept terms of an amended operating agreement and asked the City Attorney's Office to return with an appropriate resolution early next month. Our political analyst, Dadian, is here to discuss what's happening at City Hall. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Hi, John. Happy Easter to you. You're looking very, very Eastery, and what is that, coral or pink? I like it.
I'll let you make that.
It looks great on you.
Jeff and I are going to call it pink. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's get down to business here and talk about what happened this week. Specifically, too, what happened behind closed doors. I think you were down at City Hall a lot this week. You kind of saw some of the things that were happening, and you heard some of the one-liners that were used to describe this situation. What's your make on all this?
You betcha. And you used the term behind the scenes. The 24 hours before, we started hearing all kinds of buzz that something was going on, and right up until the council, an hour before, when the council was convened, you saw political aides going down the hall, pulling the boss out of session, and what they were doing is saying, hey, how about this last detail? Hey, are you okay with this? It went right up until the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
What about the perception of how all this was handled and sort of who comes out, you know, smelling good and who doesn't smell so good?
All about the
Easter Sunday.
Well, I hate to give the old cliche, but there's enough blame to go around and there's enough kudos to go around. Clearly, one of the shining stars that rose on this one was David Alvarez. He was one of the key linchpins that really helped bridge the gap and the deal between the council and the mayor.
For those who don't know, who is David Alvarez?
David Alvarez is in his first term as a council member representing District 8. And so this was really his chance to really became prominent, a leading role on the council without a doubt. But yeah, some of the one-liners this week were phenomenal. What I think is the most interesting thing that I don't think people realize is not so much that things bad happen on Tuesday and things good happen on Thursday, which is what the council and the mayor tried to say. It was how quick the swing was.
It was a quick swing,
It was venomous on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, accusations of bribery and people being paid off, and then the other side saying that's defamatory. And then on Thursday, I counted at least 6 times the word kumbaya was used at City Council by both the mayor and the council. Mm-hmm. So talk about a complete switch within 48 hours.
How does this leave the relationship between the city attorney and Mayor Filner, in your opinion? Because that's been a very hostile relationship that we've obviously talked about many times on this show for the last few months. Talk about where they are right now.
Both sides are saying that they're a lot better now and they're going to work together. My analysis is nothing has changed in the sense that, because I mentioned how quick it swung, both sides are very cognizant of those vicious words that were used on Tuesday could be used again at any moment. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's where we stand. Unfortunately, there's not a good relationship between the mayor and numerous council members.
Mm.
What is the next agenda item, the big agenda item? Obviously the convention center, that expansion going forward, the Chargers issues downtown, we'll see what happens with that, but do we know sort of what the next 6 months will look like?
Well, I think one of the main big issues that is going to affect the relationship between the council and mayor is not actually an agenda item on the council, but this pending court hearing about whether or not this hotel tax that was the focal point of discussion, whether or not it's legal. That's working its way through the court system, because once that decision's made, it's a pure legal decision, but once that's made, then people are going to paint whether or not the mayor was a winner or loser, whether or not the council was a winner or loser. But yeah, all those issues you just named are coming up, and they're coming up quickly.
Yeah. John, we only have about 30 seconds here. Runoff for District 4. A lot of people are not aware of that because this other story obviously taking spotlight this week, but that's a big deal too at City Council, right?
And the important thing is that it was isolated. It was the only one on the ballot. Mm-hmm. So it was very low turnout. But what happened was there were 9 candidates. Now it's down to 2. That's similar to basketball, the Final Four. It's the final 2.
Went quickly, yeah.
And one thing what they did, which was one candidate protested, is they consolidated this election with another upcoming election. So that will probably be a better, higher voter turnout. But one of the candidates wanted it separate, and he didn't get his way because the council had to be the one to set the date.
One last question. There's been some controversy. We talked about it on the show about Donna Fry's appointment, an open government appointment to City Hall. You're in touch with what's going on there and with all the power brokers down there. What is she doing? What do we know what she is doing at City Hall, and obviously she's collecting a paycheck, but do we know what she's doing?
Well, again, this is a new position, or at least the title was new, created by the governor. But, you know, I'll bring up that her title is called Open Government. Keep in mind, Mayor Susan Golding had a position called Officer of Common Sense. So really what the issue is, the mayor has a staff, and he's the one who decides what duties, et cetera. She is looking at several projects with the mayor, which just haven't come to light yet because they're working on them.
All right.
All right.
John Dadian, thank you so much for coming in. A happy Easter to you. Thank you for
Happy Easter to
spending
you.
part of your morning with us.
You bet.